Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so headed home, got everything I needed. Everything that was on my list is in the bag, so I'm feeling good. Still kind of want to be in this fresh air setting. It's for all the days that I walked around in hot weather, or a year ago rainy weather. These are the type of days where you really love being outside. and for me to just waste this type of day on a local walk feels like a waste, but at least I got out a little bit and stayed true to what my plan was. So I guess there's something to be said for that. But yeah, man, just very thankful that everything's lining up the way that I wanted it to. It was a lot of different things I wanted to do in this little 2-day span, to be honest with you. I wasn't really sure if it was going to line up the way I wanted it to, timing wise, and there's still a lot of things that I have kind of ahead that I want to do. Little stuff, nothing major, nothing serious, but just like a bunch of little tasks that it's like, do I have time to do this? Is it going to work out the way I want it to? Is it little stuff like that can weigh on me a little bit, but so far everything's going great. So far everything is lining up better than I actually anticipated. And so yeah, just managing my little set of circumstances. But it's a lot of gratitude that I have in my head right now. I'm thinking about just like the shower in the room I had just for the last 3 weeks has been terrific. After having a 3-week period that the shower was not good at all. So it's wondering what the next room's gonna be and if it'll have that same type of thing going on. But it's a lot of gratitude, man. Been comfortable with that. Maybe even too comfortable, to be honest. But I can't complain, you know what I mean? That's really what it's about, is not taking it for granted. All of the different things, little things and big things that go along with life, And so, yeah, man, but I'm really thinking about all the stuff that I've been seeing, man. The different things that are going on in the world today, man. It's just an ugly reality we're living in. And I alluded to it in my last video. I just think that it's time for me to start emphasizing the urgency for now believing in God and following what He says. There's a certain alignment that He's put on my heart to share with you guys today, and that's exactly what we talked about in the last video. It's not enough to believe in God and not follow what He says. It's not enough to do the things that He likes for you to do but then ignore Him or not believe that He exists. It's just not that's not going to be harmless going forward. And that's tough because there are a lot of people who passionately believe that God doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Or people who have been raised in their religion to think that God is going to forgive them so they can walk that line of doing whatever they choose to do and just repenting for it later and they'll be fine. That is not harmless anymore. With what it is that's ahead and what it is that we're paying attention to, that's going to harbor harsher consequences going forward for human beings. It just is, man. And so that's kind of just the message I want to reiterate in this video as well. A lot of people who are doing God's work anyway. You good people anyway. You're more unselfish than a lot of us believers are. But you reject the notion that God exists. And maybe you've seen enough in your life to make that something that you feel makes sense. Or make that something you truly believe. Now's the time to start looking for the signs. Any signs you can find. Because they will be there. They will be there. That's what I can tell you. For those who are looking for signs that God exists, for those who want to work experiments to try to figure out if He exists, if you're even remotely curious about His existence, now's the time to start looking for them signs, because I get the feeling that He's about ready to start showing Himself to new people. It's almost like a recruitment time for the enemy and for the Lord. The enemy's trying to recruit people, see if what he wants to be normal will be adapted to. And the Lord, just by default, is likely doing the same thing. I feel like the armies are starting to gear up. Spiritual warfare, this is what we're talking about. The armies, it's recruiting time. That's where we're at. And I just feel the shift. I can feel it. And I know it like I know my name. That we're entering into a different space in this spiritual warfare. I think that the world has been in a holding pattern for a long time as it pertains to spiritual warfare. Most people coming through this earth, they come in here to live their lives, pass forth children, and leave. You know, to accomplish their goals, meet their dreams, experience what they got to experience, have the experience of life, and leave. I think that we're crossing over into a threshold where that's not really the purpose of people here right now, or what's coming. The kids that are coming, that's not going to be your purpose. It's to just experience life, love, and leave. No, this is spiritual warfare that y'all lifetimes is about. Y'all lifetimes is about the experience of preparing for spiritual war and battling spiritual war. You understand what I'm saying? The holding pattern it's not really where we're at anymore. It's time to start gearing up for battle. It's time to start drawing your line in the sand. It's time to start picking sides. It's time to start getting affairs in order. This is where we're at now. I'm going to say something else too. It's a lot of people, and it far be it from my opinion to be the judge of who these people are. I don't want y'all to think that I have a notion of who these people are. But there are a lot of people that are just taking up space in the world. They're not giving the world anything. They're not really here to do anything. They're just running around, basically taking up space. The Lord gonna start calling some of them home now. I'm just telling the truth. That I know in my heart, I feel where we're at. For those who have no purpose, who truly have no purpose, they're not gonna be living much longer. They're gonna be called home. I'm just telling you. The world's resources, air, food, space, energy, blessings, gifts, all of the different things, both the things that you can touch and feel and the things that you cannot, they're not going to be wasted on the idol for much longer. Either you're going to be here for the Lord or you're going to be here for the enemy. That's kind of what it's going to be. That the resources are going to be going to one or two sides. It's just not going to be much room, and you're not going to be able to survive what's coming. Some of y'all that are just idle, you ain't here to really do nothing. You're not particularly passionate about, serving God or serving the enemy. You're not going to be here, man. I'm just telling the truth. There's a lot of people just here, and like I said, it's not my opinion or my ideologies that are going to determine who those people are. For all I know, I end up being one of those people. I don't know. God determines that. A lot of us think we live for so much, we really ain't doing nothing. He's going to take you home, man. There ain't going to be much room for people like that no more. Not in the spiritual warfare. That's not your reality. The reality that you live through, you were meant for the world before this. You're not meant for the world that's coming. You're not written in that story. It's essentially what I'm trying to articulate. You're about to be written out of the book of whatever the heck is next. So I'm just telling people what I know is coming, man. I feel it. I can feel it as I speak, man. It's a shift that we're entering right now. A lot of people talk about spiritual shifts. Do you feel the spiritual shift, the alignment of this, alignment of that? Often when they say that, I don't feel nothing. Often when people say, oh yeah, we're reaching to a different plane where the stars are aligning this way or that way, and now we're in a different... I'm not the person that says, yeah, I feel that. Not really. Most of the time I don't. When they say that, I don't know. Nah. Right now, I feel something. Yep, we're there. We are in a space that the reality is shifting a lot. Spiritual warfare is reaching a new phase. It's reaching a new phase. That's all I'm saying. I do not think we're going to be in a holding pattern much longer as it pertains to this war. It's going to be fighting time. And so get your relationship with God intact, or get your affairs in order. That's really what I have to say to people, man. If you ain't going to line up with God, expect to be attacked. You know what I mean? Expect to be attacked. Spiritually, emotionally. Expect your synopsis to shift. As you continue to look at what you see out here, expect the enemy to try to make you feel like there's little to nothing you can do. You're going to feel more hopeless than you ever felt in your life. You're going to feel more helpless than you ever felt in your life. Because that is exactly what the people who serve the enemy are now in a position to enforce upon us. We're always watching you. We're always listening to you. We control your government. Nobody's coming to save you. Everybody's up for being bought. There's no integrity in the world. Bad guys are getting away with everything. The bad guys are telling the story. Like that's where we're at. They're positioning for those who don't have a relationship with God to feel basically crushed by the weight of that posture. But it is not what it seems. When you walk up to it and you touch it, you find out it's the weight. It actually harbors the weight of a feather. It looks imposing. You know, it's like breakaway glass. You know, the type of stuff that they use in the movies. That's what it is. The weight of their power is a posture, man. It's just posturing. They're not really made like that. It doesn't have roots. You understand what I'm saying? It's just something plastered up top to look a certain way, but it's not actually as strong as it appears. But you're not going to be able to tell the difference if you don't have a relationship with God and He's not able to whisper into you. You're going to feel like there's nothing you can do, and that the only option you have is to align with those who are doing awful things. That's essentially where we're at. And the only hope you're going to have is to capitulate and let evil run amok. That's the only safety you're going to harbor, is to let the bad guys be bad. No matter what they want to do like the rest of these people who are selling out, and position yourself on the winning side. That's what this is going to look like to all of y'all who don't believe in God. And to all of y'all who do believe in God, who don't follow Him. Who do whatever y'all want to do. Feed y'all demons, stand posturing in your ego, doing all types of evil, capitulating to these warmongering government people, agencies, taking their money and stuff, taking a little $7,000 shekels or whatever it is they're going to offer you. Yeah. You're going to see people not standing on stances. The weak are going to cave, man. The weak are going to cave. And the saved are going to behave, man. That's really what I'm telling y'all. The weak are going to cave, the saved are going to behave, and it's not going to be able to tell who's who. It's not going to be easy to tell who's who. You're going to need Him, God, to have a relationship with you to help you understand when things are going to be okay and when you're going to need to call on Him for strength, because they're not. And your eyes are going to lie to you. Your ears are going to lie to you. People that you think are the enemy going to turn out to be the ones that are most loyal. People you thought was your friends going to be the one to serve you a knife, your back. And I ain't talking about just people close to you. I'm talking about people you thought you believed in. People who were going to be, ones that you listen to, your pastor, your counselor, whoever, you know what I mean? It's going to be them type of people that are going to prove themselves to not be good people. Or prove themselves not to be strong people in this environment that I'm describing to you. And there's going to be people who are going to scream from the mountaintop that the sky is falling and that you need to be prepared to be crushed by it. But as I said, that's all a part of the posture of the enemy to appear as menacing and as imposing as God actually is. He wants you to think He has control of everything, that He's going to let His people do whatever they want to do, so you'll be tempted to line up with Him. That the people who are telling you the truth are losing, that they're starving, that they're poor, that they are without the things that you consider cool. He's going to try to make the righteous look like bumbling fools, failures, and all of that. But it's all posturing. If you have a relationship with God and you're following him within that relationship, you're going to have the GPS that helps you navigate through those waters. You're going to know what you need to know. You're going to be where you need to be, and you're going to be equipped with all the tools necessary. So that's what I'm telling y'all, man. That's what I'm telling y'all. And the answer is in your own personal relationship with God, and your own personal homework that you're going to do, in your own personal quiet space where you literally talk to a living God. It's not necessarily going to be found in aligning with people who call themselves religious. The enemy has a stranglehold on a good portion of them right now. A good portion of them. And you're going to follow those people thinking you're getting a relationship with God when they're going to teach you. They're going to teach you how to view the enemy as the most powerful and strongest thing in the world, and that you would better capitulate with his interests and his intentions. That's exactly what they're there to teach you. And they're there to do it in the name of religion. They're there to do it in the name of God. And that is, for all intent and purposes, deception. The same type of deception that's been controlling the world and leading us to wars and leading us into temptation for thousands and thousands of years, man. So don't necessarily trust religion. Trust your instincts, and trust that meditation time that you'll spend with a living God. And if you already have a relationship with your religion, then you practice those practices in the comfort of your own spaces and with your family. And you allow compassion and accountability to be your true north. If it's absent one or both of those things, then chances are it's not leading you anywhere that the Lord can ultimately help you. It's not leading you to a space where that GPS is going to work, so to speak. Now, accountability is to look inward, say, how can I be better? Am I doing enough? Am I doing the right thing? And compassion to say, am I giving enough? Do I care enough about someone else? Am I only doing this because it benefits me? All of those energies of selfishness and climbing to the top, ambition and ego, that's going to be aligned with the evil one. That's it. You ain't going to find too much good in those spaces. You ain't going to find too many people you can trust in those spaces anymore. You're just not. And if you're one of those people, you're going to be used by the enemy. You're a weapon for him in a lot of cases. It's about sacrifice, unselfishness, compassion, restraint from anger and emotional outbursts and things of that nature. Those are going to be the things. Being able to be poised under the pressures that the enemy provides. That is what it's going to be about, man. Knowing when to leave enough on the table so others can eat. That unselfishness, I'm telling you. But if y'all taking the $7,000, if y'all worldly, ambitious in that regard, you're going to fall into one or two categories. Either you're going to be aligned with the enemy, or you're going to be aligned with the idol. And the idol are going to perish. Bdf 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.